2010 is here and it's business as usual for us on the show and the markets as well. I'm Charitra Parthasarathi, and over the next half hour, we'll be bringing you a recap of how business in India did in the last week of 2009. First up, a look at how last year was for Indian aviation. Turbulent to say the least. 2009 was marred by strikes, losses and crashes. However, 2010 may turn out to be the exact opposite and may even perhaps see the sector emerge out of the clouds.
Big bosses of Indian aviation will only be too glad to see the back of 2009. It was a year in which India's aviation sector went through one of its toughest periods. The airlines entered the year riding a wave of protest from sacked employees and falling passenger traffic due to the global economic slowdown. And the same thread continued in 2009 as well. Two of the country's biggest airlines, Jet Airways and Air India, were literally grounded when their pilots went on strike in 2009. Both airlines suffered big losses due to the strike, bringing forth the issue of manpower management in an industry which was seeing a downturn after many years of boom.
Once the pilots report to work and normalcy in operations is restored, it would withdraw the writ petition and not press the contempt petition in the High Court, and no action would be taken against the pilots arising out of the present situation.
While Jet finally managed to settle the pilot issue, Air India's troubles were more serious. The airline had run up a consolidated loss of 7,000 crore rupees, and cost-cutting in the government-run organization came up against the union wall. A worried Prime Minister stepped in, and the Civil Aviation Minister finally started talking tough.
Cost-cutting is very, very important, and I therefore appeal to everybody, including all sections of employees, that this is a time of trial, and we must be able to contribute meaningfully in a way where everybody puts their best foot forward.
Even as the government tries to cut Air India's operational costs, the airline finally did manage to extract an 800 crore rupee bailout package from the government. But the government-owned carrier is still not out of the woods. The situation became so bad that most airlines threatened to stop flying if the government didn't bail them out. That never happened, but the airlines did manage to wriggle out some assurances from the government, most of which, however, still remain unfulfilled. The year also saw helicopter flights carrying VIPs crashing like 9 pins and several near-miss incidents with the President's helicopter. Towards the end of the year, the airlines finally got some relief. Passengers were flocking back to the airports, flight occupancy was up, and interestingly, even fares were firming up. The aviation sector is looking at 2010 with renewed hope. The airlines are hoping that capacity rationalization, better cost management and increased demand will finally allow the sector to take off in 2010. In New Delhi, Orijit Banerjee for Ndtv Profit.
Another story now, this time from Tamil Nadu. And we're talking about exports, which in the month of November bucked the 13-month negative trend to clock an increase of 13%. One of the main contributors to the export numbers was textiles. It grew by more than 25%. These numbers are encouraging, but is this surge because of the festive demand? We find out more.
The country's largest knitwear export hub, Tirupur, also known as the Dollar Town, has seen a smart increase in exports this festive season. Orders in the past 2 months have been up by at least 30% compared to what they were 6 months back. However, exporters feel this spike could just be a temporary festive cheer and not indicative of a long-term trend.
See, only November month saw some positive trend. That is mainly because of Christmas and New Year sales. So we can't say that it's a positive trend will continue unless we see the balanced month of 4 months.
The main worry for the knitwear industry in Tirupur is the rising yarn prices. Cotton yarn has seen a 20% increase in prices in just the past 2 months. industry has been demanding a temporary ban on exports of yarn to stay competitive. A long-standing demand of higher duty drawback is also pending.
Competition is too much from the neighboring countries, and we have to match all the factors to have a level, equal ground to play with. So in this, we request the government organs to come forward.
Not long ago in 2007, Tirupur clocked exports of over 12,000 crore rupees. That number went down to 8,500 crore last year and is hovering around the same level this year too. The recent increase in demand may have brought the smiles back on the exporters, but just for the time being. This is Madhu Bharati, Ndtv Profit.
Those were some of the top business stories last week. Join us again on the other side of this short break to know more about investing in mutual funds.